Welcome, everyone. I'm Joshua Barron, the National Director of the Karaoke World Championships. And this week, we went around and we checked in with a lot of our singers to see how they're doing through the process of the National Finals training program and coaching program that we're going through. Right now, all the singers are in the first round. So they're meeting with their coaches and going over song choices and improving on the videos that they've made and the performances they've done. We're going to start off with our first singer, with Becca. Throughout this, you aren't going to see them sing, but we're going to be asking questions. We're meeting with Becca and Grant and Samantha Payne, Corrine, Paul, and Camille. So sit back. I'm sure you're getting some amazing insight on your videos and your check-in and everything.
Yeah. Yes, I have.
Um, However, I want to know first, what have the challenges been so far to what you're facing, like in the coaching? Like what is the hardest thing for you to be working on, or to
um,
hear feedback?
or sorry, what?
I said, or to hear feedback on.
They've been so nice. They've been very gentle with me, and this sounds silly, but Miriam's been working on confidence with me, which you'd probably think I'm a pretty confident person. But she's like, you need to like actually believe in yourself. So she like gave me this list of like things to say in the mirror every day. It's hard to say those things, those nice things about yourself. Just silly, but that's honestly been the hardest thing. Sure.
In what ways do you feel like you have grown just within the last like week, with the coaching with Michael and Miko and Miriam?
Yeah. Um, uh, so I think it's been cool to see that I can bring a lot to the table with just my voice. I don't have to have the theatrics. I love the theatrics. That's me. I love theater.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't I don't know if I'm using them to hide necessarily, but 1,000%, like I don't expect anyone to be interested in me just singing at all. Like I assume they want some cartwheels. So it's been really cool for them to show me that there's still value in just me singing, and I can make it beautiful, and I can make it a piece of art with just my voice, which
That's
I think is really cool. It's been a really cool growing process in that way. Mhm.
what is I know that is probably a little bit challenging compared to, because like you do so much with your videos and everything. Um, what is the secret to doing that in your eyes, of how to tell that story then without that?
Hmm. Um, I like to use lighting to set the mood.
Okay.
Um, I'm using decoration, I guess you could say, to kind of create a vibe and a mood. Really connecting with the camera and making my face be the dance instead of, and my hands, use my hands a little bit. Yeah, so that's basically been it. Just like making love to the camera, basically. Um,
Ooh.
so
What
trying
about
anyway.
what about vocally? Vocally,
Vocally,
yeah. Did you do
uh,
anything to change that part?
yeah. I'm so. This is hard. I shouldn't admit this on. I should not admit this. I don't. I don't often warm up ever. So, sorry, Miriam. But Miriam's given me some awesome warm up tips. And actually, shout out to my homegirl Miranda Longacre. I was like, "What the heck is? What does that do?" I was like, that's dumb. And she's like, "No, it helps with your vocal folds." Blah blah blah. I'm like, okay. So, uh, I felt Miriam cringe. I know. So it's like, whoa, I warmed up. Like seriously though, I'm like, I should do that more
Mhm.
often. And just learning like your mic is your friend, and like if you're singing soft, like how to like really make that your friend and getting up in there, and you can still be pretty and still be whatever, you know. When you're singing quietly, I used to be like, oh, you got to sing loud if you want to be interesting, but that's not true. That's not true. I've learned that through this competition.
What kind of positive affirmation are you saying then?
I have to say I'm good enough. That I don't even like saying it right now. Like, I'm working on it, Miriam. But you know that I do have a nice voice. I have to say it in a weird voice. I'm okay. Um, no, just yeah, that I am great. I can do this. I am creme de la creme. You know, those types of things. Because there's some awesome competition right now.
Oh yeah.
In my
Oh
opinion,
yeah.
I cannot compete. In my opinion, I cannot compete. So, but it's just getting in that headspace that I have a spot here. It's even hard for me to say that. I do deserve a spot here.
Mm.
I'm in my head already. But anyways, it's been awesome that she's like, do you, you know, how do you speak to your kids? Do you want your kids to speak nicely about themselves? I'm like, always, you know. But then I turn around and I'm like so mean about myself, you know. So I think it's interesting and very like spot on of Miriam to like notice that, you know. So kudos, and it's been really awesome having Michael and Miko all like just be on my team, and like I feel their belief in me. It's been really cool, and just
That's
guiding
incredible.
me like let's do it this maybe okay change it a little bit, let's do it you know, like don't like do that to the camera, do this to the camera, you know, and
Right.
like don't let your outfit to let your voice be, and Miko, as Miko said, be the main event, you know, not just your look.
Yeah.
Let the
You
voice
always
be
got the theatrics down. So I mean that stuff, it's
a
we got
little too much.
you us there to that. So all right. So you are doing Into the West for your very first video from Lord of the Rings. Uh now why did you choose this song for your first song and for the national finals?
It's a song that I've loved dearly. Um, I joke about how, you know, you kind of date songs sometimes, and like me and this song have been intimate for many years. We're like an old married couple. This is the song that I sing to my kids at night when I
Oh,
put them to sleep. Yeah, which might be, I was very like, is this a bad idea? Because like, am I going to put the judges to sleep? Like, you know, but so I was ready for all the opinions to be like, that sucks. Like, no, but surprisingly, Eminem and M were like, heck yes, like they loved it. So I was shocked, but I'm excited because I really, really connect with the song.
what are your plans of showing us the difference between the first one and the final one?
Right. Um, well, you won't see any elf ears like the first one. And
I talk
really,
about that because that's my
elf ears are great. I mean, I had them sitting right here. But anyways, yeah. So no elf ears, but I love they're still letting me do my artistic thing, you know, when I do. But no, but they're helping me with you know, really connecting with the storyline and like having appropriate expressions, and there's just one big note, and occasionally it's a little ugly, so I'm just working on that one, and hopefully by the end it will be not as ugly.
Well, that was Becca, and I cannot wait to see what that final video is going to be, and how it's going to look. This adventure is totally new to all of us. Every year we do change things a little bit, and especially in the pandemic, going virtual, and it started last year and this year. We really wanted to nail down how the training was for the national finals and the experience for the singers. And I really can't wait to see these transformations. It's really incredible. I'm going to bring our next singer on. It is Sammy Payne, and she was also in the Karaoke World Championships last year as well. And I'd like to bring her up. Bum bum bum. Hey, Sammy.
Hey, good morning.
Good
Excuse my
morning. How
crazy
you
hair. Good, how are you?
Good, good. How are you feeling about everything that's going on with with training and coaching, and are you learning a lot?
I am, yeah. I'm learning a lot more about my delivery of the songs and how they're so familiar to me. And I think that was my challenge is that I pick songs that I'm so used to. And
Right.
instead of like branching out and trying an entire different repertoire, which I need to do. But even that, they were like, because you're so familiar with the songs, you're so used to singing them a certain way. So just learning a
Oh,
different way to deliver them was a challenge for me. But I do have two more meetings this week with two more coaches.
oh,
So but yeah,
cool.
it's been good though. They're really helpful.
Um, so on delivering a song that you've done a ton of times, like I know
Hmm.
I do this. What happens is you fall into weird habits, and also like you don't realize. I don't know if this is like this for you, um, but that you're not giving 100% anymore because you're sort of like, oh, it's sort of
Hmm.
like, well, this is my go-to, like I'm just gonna go and sing
Yeah.
it. Um, so how are you when you're approaching it now? What are you thinking about when you're delivering that song that is so familiar?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. I was telling them, like, I feel like I was so comfortable with them that you kind of get lax with it, like you said, and you end up just singing it as you always do, and then you don't catch the things that you do and like the routine. It's like routine to me, if that makes sense. Like I
Oh,
sing the notes the same, I sing the ad libs the same, I do it all the same, and then I hear it back, and I was like, oh, I can play a recording from 5 years ago, and I sing it the exact same way. So they were like, just strip it down. Imagine you're playing it on the piano,
mm,
and sing it exactly note for note what it's supposed to be. And then add your little flair and your changes to it, or just sing it straight. So they're like, it sounds good straight. And I'm like, no, it doesn't. I want to add all the the fun stuff to it and make it powerful and dynamic. And they're like, you can, but you don't have to do that throughout the whole song. So that was
right.
hard for me. I mean, I think what'll work for, and that's why I haven't really decided well on my songs either, is because I kept sticking with what was comfortable. So I
Mhm.
think I'm gonna have to try a new song, maybe not one that's extremely difficult, but I did actually. I picked one that was really hard for me, just
But
because
that's good.
it's a
That's a
vocal challenge, and
yeah.
so I like to do that, and then I hate myself later because I ruined my voice. But learning the way to approach it was also another issue I had. But no, just stripping it down entirely,
Mhm.
removing all the flair, removing all the ad libs, removing all the little nuances that I have that I tend to do without even realizing it. Like you said, it just becomes second nature when you've sung it that way your whole life. So, but yeah, that's what I've been working on is just trying to just sing the basics and then come in and make it my own.
Have you so when you are presenting a song, so when you're recording these, do you have the lyrics open and available to you at the time, or is it's something that's at this point second nature? You're like, I don't need these lyrics.
So I know the song so well, except for like the new one that I did, I knew it too, but it was more the challenge of the vocals in it. So I'm sticking with songs that I know well enough to not have to like look at the words. But occasionally I'm like, oh, I messed that whole bridge up because I skipped a verse or whatever. So there were times where I did have to go back and look at it, and I was like, well, because I'm singing it so stripped and naked, you start to forget certain sections of the
Right.
song too, because you might be hitting that belted section or the ad lib part instead of singing it with the chorus or whatever part was there. So that's, yeah, that's been hard too. Mhm.
It's perfectly normal that that happens. Um, how has your experience been? Because so we have coaches for this season who have not been part of KWC. It's always great to get that external coach out there who hasn't been part of the program.
Mhm.
Partially because I know that when we go through this, we're also focused on being a champion. And when you get that outside thing, you get totally different views also because they're while they haven't been, they've been part of the music business and been part of entertainment and also trying to build their brand and what
Mhm.
they're doing. What has been some great takeaways that you have had from Chris and Anthony so far?
They were just really raw and honest. Like we were laughing most of the time when we were doing it because they're like, just stop being so serious. Like, be serious in what you have to do, but stop being so serious with yourself. It's so critical of yourself, and just, you can do it vocally. You have that technical background, but just, sometimes you have to let that go and just sing it, fix it, tweak the little areas you have, but stop being so critical. And I think that would help with my confidence too, because I was like, well, it's hard to sing on a video versus in front of, live. That's entirely different. And I think my personality is different live than it is on a video, because I don't know why, but there's some, it's not even being shy. I'm shy anyway, but when I sing in a video, it's just not the same. And so I was like, I think that's my challenge, is singing in
Right.
front of people versus a video, and then having to show that same theatrics and everything, because I don't have any of that. And it's like, well, maybe I have to get the fancy lights and all. They're like, no, you don't need to do that. It's like, well, I never have, so on stage is different. But
Your
those are
fans
things I was like, do I need to do all this?
are just the presentation and singing. I mean, really, the right movements at certain times. You don't need too much of the overflow of like effects, in the background.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're named that you're the next champion, like what do you think your feelings are going to be?
Probably disbelief, really. I think it's kind of the same, like she was saying. Like I don't have enough confidence in myself. Like I've won competitions before, but not a ton of them. And so I think just getting to, top 10 or top 5, or that would be good enough for me. So I think there's going to be a definite disbelief if I made it that far. Just because I don't know what it is. I've never had that true confidence in myself to be like, yeah, I am the champion and I'm going to win. Like I could say that in my head, and then it'll all go out the window as soon as it happens.
Right. Oh yeah, I cannot wait to see what Sammy's video is going to be. Our next singer that I'm going to be bringing in is Grant Cullum. Grant Cullum was last year at Worlds. He's finally made it that far. He's back again. He has his heart set on gold at Worlds. We know that he has the talent. We know that he is always improving and always trying to get there. I'm going to bring in our friend in Arkansas live, I think from his work, Grant Cullum.
Yes. Well, hello.
So last year you went to Worlds, and
I did.
I feel like you learned more from just going to Worlds than pretty much anyone in the competition right now. What do you feel like you learned last year that you're bringing to this year when you're making your videos and preparing to be the next US champ?
Song selection.
And on
That's got to be the biggest thing.
song selection.
Oh, yeah.
And what have your challenges been? What's like your major challenge right now?
Time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Finding the time to do my check-in videos. Finding songs that suit my voice. Other than that, I mean, time's the biggest one. Time's the biggest challenge.
Week 1 is almost in the books. And you've met with your coaches. Have you met with all 3 yet?
Yes.
Yes. Awesome. What has it been like? I know that
Fun.
you're getting fun because it's
Yeah.
different than last year. It's
I'm
different
almost
than
done.
last year. And last year it was a little bit more of a pressure cooker, I feel like, with the coaching and going through the program. And this should always be fun for you guys. Like that should be first and foremost. Even when you're performing, your performances should be fun. What are things that you have learned over the last week of working with them that you might not have thought of last year or the year before or in your performances before?
Apparently I sing country a lot better than I thought that I did.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And another thing is I guess that I'm a 90s singer.
Okay.
Because of some song selections that they helped me with. So that's going to be fun.
What tricks or tips did you get from your vocal coach that for vocally that you are going to take a different approach or think about when you're performing?
Dynamics. That's the biggest thing. The build of the song, and using more of like the tender side of my voice.
Did you say tender or Tinder? Because I might swipe left or right. And you met with Michael and Miko. Then with Miko, world champion Miko. What did you guys talk about, and what are you looking to expand on that he gave you coaching
on? Me and Miko really talked mostly about song selection. He gave me some suggestions, and we went from there. And I'm supposed to meet with him again this week to talk about the rest. Yeah.
Excellent. And what about with Michael?
He helped me with the dynamic and the emotions of Hallelujah. And that he told me to work on that and send him some clips of me doing some different stuff with it. So
okay, have you sent him those clips yet?
Not yet.
Oh, got to get on that. So now, when you are named the next KWC National Champ, let's not go to Worlds. We're staying Nationals right now. Because you've had that feeling before of you going there, but let's say you're the national champ. What do you feel like your reaction is going to be?
Shock and relief, all in the same emotion.
Yeah. Nice. Know that you've been building up to that point, and you're always coming back. You're always trying and trying and trying. So I hope that end goal's there. And your journey to stardom is unlike anyone else's. Your journey to the world championships, unlike anyone else's. And it's really fun to watch from the outside. And I know that being part of it as the singer can be really like stressful, but like you don't show it in your performances. So it's fantastic. But remember, like you said, or just remember to have fun. Remember to relish this time. All right. So our next singer that we're going to be talking to is no stranger to the KWC. She actually was a silver medalist at nationals before, and actually is a very big Smule singer. Actually, I met her through Smule and convinced her to try out for the KWC a few years ago. It was 4 years ago, I believe. And I had no idea that actually she even lived in our state, because when you're in Smule, you get a giant sampling of the U.S. And I'm always on there as a national director looking for more singers and reaching out to people when I see a really good video of like, hey, you should try out, because you can really tell like what someone's bringing and like if they have that extra something. And I remember the first time I saw her on there, I was like, oh my goodness, you need to try out for the Karaoke World Championships. And I believe it was like 24 hours later, there she was at an audition for a singing program that we kicked off our season with in Washington State. And she was there. and at the audition and nailed it, and then ended up being in the Keep on Singing program, and I believe she also placed silver there as well, and then went on to win the state that year, and then went on to nationals. And I'm going to bring her in. Her name's Corrine Beckman. Please find her on Smule. She has so many amazing videos. And also, if you're on Smule or on a singing app, she does a lot of joins where you can actually come in and sing with her. And I know that she recently made one video for me to join on. And by the time I even looked at it, there was like 50 people on it. And I was like, whoa, whoa. So I'm going to bring her in. Ladies and gentlemen, Corrine Beckman, everybody.
Hi, Josh. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It was actually 2 days after you contacted me, and I said, Karaoke World Championships? What is that?
Right?
And I had never done karaoke before in my life. Yeah.
So here you are, back in the National Finals. And this is, since you started, you've always ended up, boom, right here in National Finals. In that last round, you've never missed out on the rounds. And here you are again, going for the gold. And this year, again, we're in a pandemic. We're in the middle of everything changed, and we're back in here. And there's always challenges. Every year there's a challenge, and sometimes it's not the same challenge it was the year before or anything. What is one of the biggest challenges that you're facing this year in the Karaoke World Championships?
You mean different from other years? So I have to think of my feet. For me, it's always song choice. That's just always the biggest challenge for me, because there's so many songs that I know and that I love, although I tend to sing in just a few genres, a couple of genres, and so that's the hardest part for me is always song choice, because I second guess myself. And so I think that's the challenge. What I have really enjoyed, though, is some of the coaches that we've had since we entered into, and I was a little bit leery of it, but it's really, I think, been very beneficial, and I've gotten a lot from these coaches. So
that's great. That's great. And so you're starting off with coaches actually who haven't been part of KWC before.
No.
With Yaya, Chris Grade, Anthony Valibero. And so they always bring in a totally different perspective. And that's one of the reasons why we actually bring in people who are within the music industry or in performance who aren't part of it. Because we always want that outside look too, because one of the things is with the championships, we're looking for pure artists. We're looking for that artistry. We're looking for that. And they've all been like sort of time tested, that's why they're doing it. And that's why they're pros in their field. And you said you had a great experience so far. What have you taken back that maybe before this year you never really thought about before, or that you're changing?
Okay. It was something that Chris G said to me, Chris Gray. And, we were trying to kind of talk about, should I do this song that I'm planning to do in the finals, or should I not? And I've had people tell me not to. I've never flat out had people just say, don't do it. But, he made a comment, and it's kind of stuck with me, and it's kind of like, hey, if you're going to go down like you, doing what you want to do.
That's great advice. Yeah.
And so that just kind of, I went, yeah. It's not. I think everybody who gets to this point really are winners, and whether you win a competition or not has nothing to do with whether you're talented or not. So it's very subjective, judging is, and sometimes they have to find this tiniest little thing to differentiate between who gets a medal and who doesn't. So, you know they are looking at every tiny little thing, and that can become kind of intimidating and, and scary. But this year, I just really decided I wanted to do what I do and be me and try and let go and just enjoy the process. So, because I am a competitor, I do have a competition nature, but I want everybody else to win too. So
Exactly. When you were picking the songs, what made you choose that song?
honestly, it would have been not a song I would have chosen. um, because it sounds like I'm a man hater if you know the song, and I'm not at all. So it is purely an acting thing, but I liked the fact that I hadn't ever done any blues in the competition, and so my husband said, I really think you should do that one. And so if it wins, good on him. If it doesn't,
I
we're all good.
What, when you're going to make your final video, what do you feel like are the changes that you're going to make in it that you have learned along this way, learned through that process?
Actually, my rough draft was really full of what I had learned from the coaches. I went in a different direction than I ever would have actually thought to do. And so at this point, I think for me, it's more about there's a few little vocal things that I want to change up. Some places where I'm going high a little too much and want to bring it back down. And try to be a little bit more artistic with some of the instrumental. So that's what I'll be probably looking at changing.
You're the champion. You become the champion, or announced as the gold medalist from the national finals. What feelings do you think that you're going to have? Like, what do you think that reaction is going to be?
Well, I'd be shocked, first of all. um, I think there would be, an element of satisfaction, but that I accomplished, that I finished the fight, I finished the race, and I did well enough to, to get a medal. But I think what I learned from last year is that it's never a given, and it's always a crapshoot. And so you just have to go into it and do the best you can, and let the rest just blow away, fall away.
Thank you so much, Corrine, for joining us. And we cannot wait to see what that final presentation is. Our next singer also is someone who is no stranger to Smule and has blown us away with his singing and his videos so far. And we really I'm super excited whenever there's someone who's new within the competition. And especially one who that every single time I see their video, I'm like, oh my gosh, they're so awesome. I would like to introduce you all to Paul Mayer. Mayer. Now I'm messing up the other way. Paul Mayer. How you doing?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Good. So, how did you find out about the Karaoke World Championships?
Miriam, actually, I had posted a video in a Facebook group called Singers Palace, and she said she's not even part of the group, so she was surprised that she even saw me in there. But yeah, I posted that video in there, and which is funny because I was actually just thinking, why do I even post videos in this group? It's stupid. No one even reacts to anything. except for like some of the people, I'm like, that person's terrible. Why are they even getting likes on their videos? Because they've built their group of friends and everything, so it makes
Right.
sense.
Right.
But then yeah, that's where she saw me, and then she sent me a message, and I was like, all right, well, I guess I'll check it out. And my first thought is, okay, this is just, she's just a recruiter for some contest, trying to pull in contestants and make their money. Like I saw that there's this big panel of judges, and you have like some of the pedigree on there. I'm like, oh, these are actually like real music people. All right,
Yep.
all right, well, all right, well, let's give this a shot. So I did just the entry. I wasn't gonna do the membership, like still being that little bit of skeptical there.
Yeah.
So I just did the entry. I'm like, we'll see how it goes. If I don't do it on the first time, I'm not going to do it again because it's just not going to happen. So but I got through on the first one. I was like, all right, nope, this is good. And so I was then at that point, then I started to actually get excited about doing the competition, got the membership and everything. So, and here we are.
But what room where are you recording at in your house usually?
Well, actually, what I was using will be different than what I'm going to try to use for the finals.
Okay.
But I was actually using a little space. We have like a bathroom and like water closet type area.
Uh-huh.
So I was actually just opening the door to the water closet, and there's like a medicine or some shelving that's above the toilet, and
Uh-huh.
I just put my iPad right there, and I try to finagle my lighting a little bit. I have like a couple of phones that have the flashlights, so I just try to set them in different
Oh,
places in the room to get a little bit of those different shadows.
okay.
And depending on the type of song, I'd either have the light in the bathroom on or the light off, or I'd try to put like a shirt over it to kind of mute the light a little bit to give just a different feeling. So it wasn't ever looking like great professionalism, but at least trying to lend itself toward the feel of the song.
And what would you say is the biggest challenge that you've been facing, especially for this first week?
Yeah, the biggest challenge for me was I got a little bit of better recording equipment to try to really capture my sound better, more of the dynamic contrast there is, to be able to pick up the quiet parts a little bit better. Like there were some judges' comments a little bit about that. It's just like, no, I have it. It's just not showing. All right, I need to make sure that I can actually pull that out,
Right.
because I mean that's just leaving points on the table. So that's just
Mhm.
kind of dumb, and I need the better equipment anyway for myself. So that was a little bit of a challenge, but also a lot of what I'm used to as far as making videos is trying to play a little bit to a scene,
Mhm.
or a little bit towards, like if you're singing like a musical theater duet, you're imagining that you're on stage and you're performing with the other person, and you're kind of playing off that person, not necessarily just playing off of the camera.
Mhm.
So trying to make it work in a way where it's just using the camera as more of that and less of the other parts, but still
Right.
having a little bit of them there.
So,
Yeah.
so what have you taken back from Miko and Miriam and Michael? The M&Ms is whatever M&M.
Yeah. Eminem. Uh, one of especially since I've actually been able to talk with Michael twice, so there's been a little bit more like of the coaching in that way, a little bit more than talking and getting to know. Is like what I mentioned about, as far as having to deliver to the camera, and trying to make the presentation like to be as good as possible.
Mhm.
Like other than just thinking like, no, I'm being on a stage, I'm performing. Like, no, you kind of have to pull that element back and make it a little bit more intimate with the camera.
Right. Right.
That's been one of the bigger things so far.
So let's say you are in that final round and we're announcing everyone who wins, and here we are saying that you are the next national champion of the Karaoke World Championships and moving on to Worlds. What it like are you excited about that? Are you more about the growth right now and like just being part of the competition? Or are you gonna like what feeling do you think you're gonna have?
I'd be super excited. I'd probably make a video right away if we are the champions. But
Oh, nice.
No, it'd be super exciting, especially since I believe I'm the only new singer in the competition that's in the finals this year. Pretty sure everyone else is 2, 3, 4 times. So
Yeah.
it would feel amazing because everyone is so good.
Mm-hmm.
So to be able to do that would just be it'd be an amazing feeling. But I'd be really looking forward towards Worlds because actually, like, for me, that's one of the main goals is to make it there. And of course, I'd much rather make it this year than next year.
Thank you so much, Paul.
Thank you.
Gonna put you back in the back room for now. Thank you so much for taking this time and meeting with us and sharing your adventures so far in the Karaoke World Championships.
I love it. It's been great.
Awesome. Thanks, Paul. So I would like to welcome Renee. Hello. How you doing? But obviously this year is different than last year, different than 2019. And what has been your biggest challenge so far?
My biggest challenge has just been jumping out of my comfort zone and, really like going for it because I'm always so timid and shy and reserved. And Miriam is like, what are you doing? Like last year, it was the last song, She Used to Be Mine, where I finally was just like, you know what, it's the last song. I made it this far. I've never made it this far before. So like, why not just give it everything? And I did. And I'm like, wait, why am I not doing this for every song? So
right.
this year I told Miriam, I was like, every song I pick, like I need to love, I need to feel it, and I need to just like get out of my comfort zone and just not worry about anything, not worry about what people think or what I look like or just anything. I'm like, just go for it. So that's been the biggest challenge for me.
And you always look spectacular in all your videos. So you should be worried about what you look like because you always look amazing. What made you choose that song?
Again, I was just searching for songs that, when I listened to them, like it just hit me.
Mm-hmm.
And I had gone through 1.5 million songs, texting Miriam, and I'm just like, oh, I don't know. Like, what do I do? I'm just going to do this one. She's like, Renee, stick to your plan. Like you said, you want to feel and love each song. So I was just looking for songs and I came across the instrumental for that. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like I love this song. Why have I never done this? And so
you've never done this song before?
I had never done the song before, no.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I haven't. I've never touched it because it's such a powerful song. And I don't think I was ready for it before. But, I feel like I am now.
Yeah.
And I was just feeling it. Yeah.
Like the emotions behind it. It makes me like emotional to even think about that song. Like,
yeah.
I'm looking forward now to seeing it. So I'm like, all right, just, be calm. Yeah, I can't wait to see what you bring to that one. Now, you've been working with your 3 coaches. Have you gotten to meet with all of them, with all 3?
Yes, Miriam, Miko, and Michael.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. And so from the time you made the raw video and you did it, because obviously it was a brand new song, and now you made a check-in video, and now you're about to make a final video for Monday.
Yes.
What have you learned along the way that might change from the original one to what your final is going to be?
Just speaking to the different coaches, they've all given me tips and tricks and stuff to apply to the song. And I have a checklist and I'm checking everything off the box, everything off the list, but just bringing more vulnerability. They're trying to get me to do that and just connecting even more so with the song. So I'm just trying to learn how to do that in the next few days.
Right.
But yeah, that's been pretty much what they've all been saying, is to just connect a little bit more and give us the raw feeling. So
yeah. I know a lot of the singers are really stressed about when they have to make a video, and your videos, like I said, is on point. How hard has it been to get over that hurdle and how to learn to do it yourself?
At the beginning, it was confusing, because I don't ever do like video stuff other than Smule, but the audio part was easy for me because, like I said, I already have all that equipment and I know how to hook everything up and all that good stuff. But it was learning like how to export videos and like just the simple stuff that most people probably already know how to do. I was like, this is Chinese to me. I don't understand. So it was a lot of YouTube videos and a lot of Googling.
You're going into let's say we're announcing the national finalists and who's our next US champion going to Worlds, and you're announced. What feeling do you think you're going to have?
Oh my gosh. I'm just going to feel super accomplished. My goal is to always be better than last year. Mm-hmm. And I know how much work I'm putting in this year, and I'm just all the way in. So if I were to win, that would just be insane. Like, I don't even know what I would feel. I would just feel extremely accomplished.
That's awesome. So, and with that, I wish you the best of luck. I cannot wait to see your video. I can't wait for the US to see the video, and just do your best and let's see how it all ends up.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I'm excited.
Thanks, Renee. All right. Welcome back, everyone. So our next singer that we're going to be talking to about the experiences she's had with the Karaoke World Championships on her very first round of videos is Camille Gomez. And she is she's in the national finals as one of our top 12 finalists. I want to introduce you, ladies and gentlemen, Camille. Hey.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Yep.
Oh yeah. I love the background. It's almost like watching a Smule video. And if you guys ever, first of all, what is your Smule handle? Can you tell everyone if someone's on Smule and they want to see your videos?
Yeah. So it's tune_into_Ellie ELLIE. And that was, I used to have a stage name for like a big 16-piece swing band. I was Ellie.
Cool.
My name backwards is Ellie Mac, and it was Ellie and the Max. So I've been stuck with that name forever. But yeah, tune into Ellie.
Awesome. All right, let's move on to Karaoke World Championships. Yeah. We are in the first round. We're almost done. Videos are due on Monday night at 11:59 p.m. And you've gotten to work with your coaches, and you're coaching with the M's, with Miriam, Michael, and Miko. And how has that been so far?
It's been really fun. They each have something unique to add, which I enjoy. And yeah, they're super nice and supportive. And I was nervous a little bit about doing coaching as a like female rock singer. I'm always worried that people don't know what to do with me, that they're just like, oh, like I'm a pop singer. I don't know how to help you because what you do is so different from me. But they've all been really supportive of me leaning into what kind of makes me unique. And that was great because I didn't want somebody molding me into like something that I wasn't. And that fear was, squashed pretty quickly because they were all just like really excited about what makes me unique. So yeah, they've been super supportive and great.
That is great. What has been your major challenge that you're facing in this first round?
I would say for me, the big thing was song selection. I am somebody who, like, when I'm not doing this for a competition, I like to do kind of really off the wall weird things where people are like, I know this song. I've never heard it done like this, doing Basket Case by Green Day as a ballad. And it's just like, I like that weirdness. And then for a competition, I was like, I don't think I can lean that hard to being that obscure. What am I going to do? And so like, scrolling through my options, I'm like, I think these are all just like a little too obscure and just trying to find the right song that I like, because everyone's like, pick what you like. I'm like, when you tell me that, I'm gonna do a ballad of Corn. Like we need to be thoughtful here of my song selection. But I think we found, Miriam scrolled through my Smule and she listened to like tons of stuff that I did. And because I told her when I submitted my first song selection, I was like, I don't actually like these, and I don't know what to do. So she helped me pick some ones, and Pretty, one of the first ones she picked, was actually one of my qualifiers from last year when I had no idea what this was about. I'm just like singing in my living room, and it was like very little extra effort. And I was like, wow, really? Okay, we'll go there. So I'm excited to do that one and like really do it up in the way that now I've learned, how to go about this competition and my setup. And, I had just barely started singing in my house during quarantine at that time.
Right.
So yeah, I'm
Right.
excited to go back to that one. But it was just funny that out of
Awesome.
all the things that I did, she picked that one.
That's great. What other insights did you get from the coaches? I know that with Michael and Miko being on the performance side and being on the stage presence side, like I always feel like you already have a lot of that down. And what's funny is you actually don't do much for because everyone's so captive with your angle of your camera is and the way your confidence is, it sort of takes care of that. But what kind of things did they give you to like put? I always call it a toolbox that
Yeah.
toolbox. So and because they've all been to worlds and they're champs, I would love to know what they gave you.
Yeah. So yeah, my style is very much like I like to animate with my facial expressions and like really bring the song to life to like how I'm looking at the camera, when I'm looking at the camera, and like focusing close up. So
Right.
they're adding that piece of like, let's just add more. So, if one of the songs that I'm doing is like a really heavy kind of metal version of a popular song. And so instead of just being focused here, they want movement, they want, more dynamic from that, which is challenging for me because I am not that performer, but I do in my band. So like when I'm performing live, I'm all about it. But when I'm in this space, I feel I feel a little awkward. I'm like, how do I work this box and not make it feel silly? And when I headbang, I lose my headphones. So I'm working on like some alternative options for like I can really freely flail my head around without losing my recording gear or knocking over my ring light.
I didn't even notice you're wearing your headphones because
I like to position I put black tape that's really matte so you can't see the logo, and I bush up my hair so you can't see the sides, and it might just look like a little headband. But yeah, I got these big beefy headphones. I mean, they're giant recording studio headphones, and that's why I like the black because it blends in with everything.
So one of the things that might be a challenge on is we did have word come down from Worlds that, and I don't know if they've told you this or not, but when we're moving into Worlds, there won't be any singing apps anymore. There won't be Smule, there won't be Yoki or any of those. And how are you already working on the workarounds for that, or are you sticking with Smule the whole way through?
Right now, I'm sticking with Smule out of pure convenience because it's packaged up and it makes my life a little bit easier. I do have a soundboard. I do have, alternative camera options other than just a phone. So I will be playing with that setup. The unfortunate thing is like the space that I work in is really tight. And so when you do this wide angle, I have to expand my backdrop and figure out that. So I got another string of lights and some more fabric.
Okay.
But I physically have to like retool my space to make it fit that wide.
I actually should say Katie recently did that because she knew I needed to retool the space. So that for your music, you can still use Smule. You can use another device, plug it into this is a tip from me. You can plug it into your soundboard. And you can also put it right underneath your camera because as you've seen on the Smule video, the way they have it situated, you can't tell that you're looking at lyrics at all. And your eyes just look like you're looking right into that camera. And so that is a workaround for you if you want to do something like that. There's some great backing track sites. I don't know how much you actually need the lyrics or not.
Not at all.
It's different. Not at all. So there's a great backing track site that I'm going to share with you
Great.
in a
Yeah.
little bit off here. Because yeah,
I'm not too worried about it. I'll figure it out. I'm tech savvy, and then I also have a camera team at work, a production team at work that I might tap them and be like, who wants to help me with this?
We're going to okay, so let's say we're announcing our next winner. Now, there are no cuts between each round. And we're like, and your next Karaoke World Championship National finalist who's moving on to Worlds, who just placed gold, is Camille Gomez. What do you think your feeling's going to be? And how do you think you're going to react? Because I'll tell you, it's never going to be what you think it's going to be.
I'm probably going to feel like I'm going to throw up, to be honest.
That might actually feel.
That might be no. I just won a major Battle of the Bands competition, and I remember they had that moment. I was like, "What? Like, are you sure? Do you want to rethink this?" No, I think it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be super exciting. I think I'm gonna be hit with that wall of like nerves pretty like immediately. Some imposter syndrome stuff that I tend to get in my performance world, and people are like, "You're amazing." I'm like, no. Not, but okay.
Yeah, I know.
I tell people all the time, like, it's just smoke and mirrors. So yeah, I think it's gonna be really, really exciting and terrifying at the same time.
Everyone else, and this is gonna be an amazing trip you're on. So thank you so much, Camille.
Thank you, Josh.
We all adore you, and I know you're gonna get a lot more fans also from this as well. So, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'll see you later. Well, thank you all for watching. What a great time I had talking and catching up with all those singers. And I hope you enjoyed it too. Obviously, it was edited for time. There's a lot more that we wish we could have showed you. But, stay tuned for those videos on September 5th. We're going to have our first National Finals round show at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on September 5th, which is a Sunday. So we'll see you all then, and keep rooting for these singers. Check out our website, KWCTeamUSA.com, for all their videos, what led them all the way to nationals. Talk to you all soon. Good night.